Hi, I got a Hill Farmstead double IPA, and it's Society and Solitude number 9. I don't think I've done any reviews or video reviews of any of the Society and Solitudes from Hill Farmstead. I've had a lot of them though. This is one of the few that I haven't. I think it's only like 1 and 2 that I haven't had maybe 8 I haven't had, I don't know. But I've also done a review of, I think, Double Galaxy that I liked a lot, but some of these Society and Solitudes I've had lately, maybe my friends shared them when they weren't very fresh, but I wasn't super impressed. I had one last summer, I think it was number 4, and I shared that with a bunch of people, but they seem to have, I don't know, they're not as soft and fruity, and I don't get that fresh malt aroma that I do from most Hill Farmstead IPAs. I always have this like kind of sharp, like Sprite sort of flavor in the finish of them, even though they're all different recipes. But this one's pretty different. I haven't had a very New Zealand hop forward Hill Farmstead IPA. And this one has Nelson, Motueka, and Amarillo as the hops, and it's 8% just like all of them. This one, they said they were running out. They were going to run out of it probably the day that I was there, which is November 11th. So I don't know if this is the insanely fresh batch, unlike Abner, which I just got, that just came out this past week. So I'll do a review of Abner soon. That's their like standard double IPA. But let's just crack into this one. A lot of my friends have liked this version of Society and Solitude, and especially this batch. And it looks pretty good. Seems a little bit hazier than some of the other ones I've had. The head has some big bubbles on top because of that glug glug pour. That's what these bottles do. The top pour is always like glugging out, and it creates a lot of big bubbles, but it looks really soapy and like there's some nice fine bubbles in there. I think the head's gonna last a while. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, the Amarillo seems actually really strong in this. It smells a lot like fresh squeezed orange juice. I'm not getting the green pepper and white wine notes I usually notice like off the bat from any beer that uses lots of New Zealand hops, especially Nelson. And it has some of that vanilla birthday cake sort of aroma. This smells really nice. The aroma isn't like, it doesn't waft all over the room, but when you get your nose in there, it's really, really pleasant. But yeah, it's very, very orangey, candied citrus. And yeah, that nice sweet, almost vanilla cake. Almost like marshmallow, cotton candy. Yeah, I like the aroma of that really well. And the head is dying down a little bit, but it still looks very beautiful in the glass. It's not murky, I wouldn't say, and there aren't any chunks in there. Just a perfect haze. It's got some nice body to it. Oh, but I know it's a little bit of booze. Ooh, it's got a bite. Yeah. Other double IPAs have a little bit of a bite to them. They're not like some really sweet, easy double IPAs that Treehouse and maybe Trillium does. It's got body to it. It's not quite super soft, because on the tongue, when you swallow, it really gives you that textured cat tongue dryness. There's lots and lots of hop oil and resin in this, but it gets spicy for sure. Maybe I'm getting some white winey Sauvignon Blanc sort of character now. That real crisp, strong. People say gooseberries. I don't think I've ever had gooseberries. But, and the finish has Has some booziness to it. It doesn't taste like booze though, which is a nice thing. And the aroma is still pretty orangey and candy-like, but I'm not getting a huge amount of green carrots. Just very peppery. But a substantial mouthfeel. And it goes into, lots of black pepper, generic woodsy, clean resinous quality, not pine exactly, and firm bitterness. But I like the combination of Amarillo and the other hops. The Amarillo is kind of smoothing out the potent, spicy character of the New Zealand hops, and their like crisp, sharp bitterness. But all of that candied fruit quality doesn't really carry into the flavor as much. It's getting a little bit pithy, maybe almost soapy, and with a deep herbal quality. I guess it's bergamot, you could say, but it's not entering like a oniony or garlicky or scallion. It's not like a salady type beer. Maybe there's a hint of a menthol. Not as much in the aroma as in like the lingering flavor. It gets a little mentholy. But not like Galaxy, how that's has a menthol like eucalyptus type green quality that I always get, especially in the aroma. This is just a really clean, sharp spiciness. And if you want a nice, dry, packs a punch double IPA, this is a good one to go for sure. It's weird. I think I have most of the time I haven't liked the double IPAs as much as the IPAs from Hill Farmstead. Like when I had double Citra on tap, like next to single hop Citra, I like the single hop one more, but it maybe just depends on batch and how it's served and its freshness. This one, when it was really, really fresh, I bet it was quite bitter. But I think I like the aroma more. And in terms of like throat burn, I'm not noticing much. It's mostly just really dries out your tongue and the roof of your mouth and your palate and everything, to the intensity of some of Trillium's more super hopped double IPAs, the limited release ones, like some of the collabs and like Headroom. But some of Trillium's other ones like Vicinity and Scaled Up, and those ones tend to be, I think, a little bit sweeter and fruitier usually. But this one has that explosion on the tongue that reminds me of Headroom a little bit. And there's, I guess it's juicy. I mean, it's like bitter grapefruit juice. As I would say that's what the quality is. It's not sweet and fluffy, and like you're drinking them, just straight up guava puree or something like that. It's a nice beer, for sure, but I'll be interested to see what I think of Abner, because I've only had that once before, and it was on tap somewhere in Vermont where I don't think a lot of people were ordering it, and it wasn't a very fresh keg, and the aroma of it would just paled in comparison to the other Hill Farmstead beer I was drinking on tap there. But my growler, I'm pretty sure, is going to be quite fresh. But this is nice. It's just a little bit sharp on the palate, but isn't creating that throat burn. It's not overly chalky or powdery like a lot of these New England style IPAs, where I just feel like I can taste all the added sulfates and stuff, and I can really taste the extreme dry hopping. This doesn't have that exactly. The bitterness is, I don't know, it has maybe a little bit of a hint of me thinking of aspirin or something, but it's not a weird kind of, you know, gross chemically sort of flavor that sometimes I get. Yeah, but that's very nice for sure. 425, at least for this one. Not one of my favorites, but I would have to say of like all the IPAs, double IPAs I've had lately, maybe this is the best one I can think of. I didn't sample too many on my trip, so I was avoiding the imperial beers because when I was up in Vermont, New Hampshire this weekend, I was tasting so many things that I tried to stay a little low alcohol. Well, this one is, I don't know, it might be one of my favorite Society and Solitudes I've had so far. But I might just also like the hop combo. But it's worth it. When next time it comes out, I would give it a try. At least I would recommend it ahead of some of the other societies. Goodbye.